All right, so let's talk lands in Dragonstorm Tarkir. It is going to be absolutely crazy, I think, in the value of these boxes. And we're going to talk about why, because while there's not a ton of spoiler information in this video, although there is some, I think the announcements and reveals that we saw are absolutely going to have a profound impact on this product. So let's get into the video. If you guys do enjoy, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, as usual. And thank you to everybody taking the time to watch. Now, fetch lands are arguably the most desired lands in all of Magic the Gathering, and for good reason. They're extremely strong in multiple formats, banned in some because of how powerful they are. They allow you to essentially fix your mana with much more consistency while also thinning the deck, and over the course of Magic have been very expensive. The way it typically goes is we saw the reprints in Modern Horizons 3 of the ally land cycles, and so the enemy land cycles, which are the ones you're seeing on the screen here, went up in price, and then I bet you, it'll kind of ebb and flow as we go. Typically, the fetch lands go back up in value over time almost without fail. They're not 50, 60 bucks like they were at one point for their base versions. However, they do end up commanding pretty good value, with almost every single one being above $20, at least out of the Modern Horizons 2 enemy cycle. Now, this is relevant because in Khans of Tarkir, we did have fetch lands, and they were the allied ones. They were the ones that were reprinted in Modern Horizons 3. For quite a while, those did not get a reprint, actually. And so now in Dragonstorm Tarkir, people thought we might be getting reprints of the allied lands again. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. They're actually going to be reprinting the enemy fetch lands. So let's talk about why that is a massive, massive deal, okay? Because the enemy fetch lands, which I need to actually pop on the screen here, are getting reprinted in here as special guests. Now, not only is that crazy in and of itself, because they've started to go back up in value again. There is a lot of demand for them. Obviously, they're extremely, extremely beautiful. All of these artworks are absolutely incredible. The Misty Rainforest, Adam, I think it's Adam Powett, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, drew all of these, and they look awesome. Now, these are going to be special guests in the set. If you guys are familiar with Magic's recent products, typically you get about a special guest per play box, and maybe 2 or 3, typically closer to 2 in a collector box. So they're not the most commonly pulled cards, but in previous sets, we've definitely gotten some cool special guests. We've gotten a lot of bigger cards because they're hard to pull, because they're all mythic. Some of them end up doing quite well value-wise. Now, fetch lands are always going to boost a product no matter what when they're in it. They're not necessarily going to drive the price down a ton. I don't think that these fetch lands, their base versions, are going to drop all that much despite their inclusion here. But what they are going to do is increase demand and value in the product as people start ripping stuff open to get fetches. So now we're getting really good reprints here that are going to be pretty hard to obtain, but at least we'll be putting some more into circulation, and they'll be available in both play booster and collector booster boxes. Now, in collector booster boxes, you can pull the foil versions of special guests, which is obviously, most people going to be what you're wanting to chase after. The non-foils are only in play boosters, so at least there's still a chance in your play booster box to get some good things. But this, they went ahead and took this a step further here, because they've introduced dragon scale foiling for these fetch land special guests, and this is absolutely insane for so many reasons. For one, dragon scale foiling is going to be exclusive to the collector boosters. Obviously, we knew they would do that, and this set actually has a large number of collector booster exclusive things that we'll break down in a future video. But these cards are going to carry an insane premium, and I've been wrong before, but I've also been right a lot. I would be willing to bet that every single one of these cards in the Dragon Scale foiling is going to be well over $100, if not more. I guess it depends on how frequently they pop out. If they're wicked rare and they pop out even less, they could be more. But if you look at the art, if you look at the design and the effect and how cool it actually looks, these are going to be massive, which means a couple of things. For one, pre-orders of the set are already starting to go up on Amazon. I've seen collector booster boxes at around 300. Now, I don't necessarily think there's reason to think it's going to be like shorted or anything like that. It should be a normal allocation. However, with the fetch lands now being included in there, in addition to a bunch of other cards we already started to talk about that are actually just really strong, the Ugin, the Elspeth, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out in the set in general. But these are going to add a baseline premium to that product now, with people looking to chase and rip these open. I think very similar to the Expedition lands back in the day, only the Expedition lands were way harder to pull, obviously. So they're not a one-to-one comparison, but there is going to be a massive, massive drive towards these. And I think unfortunately, it's going to have a negative impact on pre-order pricing too. We'll have to wait and see a little bit. I can honestly probably check now as we're sitting here doing this too, just to see. So as of the time this video, yeah, they're up to $2.99. And they're really, I mean, there's not a mass quantity, so you could pre-order at $2.99. There's very few listings left, and I think as people kind of understand what we're looking in here, looking at the possibility of pulling these things, it is going to be absolutely crazy for the purpose of this product. And you look at the price of play boosters comparatively, which are just, you know, it's obviously a different thing, but even these, you know, $135, this is already gone up like $5 or $6 from when I checked it earlier, and they currently have it marked down. But the truth of it is the value in this particular product is 100% going to be in the collector booster boxes. The play booster boxes will be fun for drafting, I'm sure, and for like ripping, but I think in terms of value, it's so heavily lopsided towards that, and these fetch lands are essentially going to guarantee that now, because now you're looking at a really high-end premium chase, not considering the new cards too, and the serialized card in there. We are looking at a huge potential value boom for this product as a result of that, and I think that kind of sucks on one hand, because it's going to make the set much harder to obtain for people that want to rip it, but it's at the same time, it's like, I think that's how that's going to end up shaking out. Like I said, I have been wrong before. I could be wrong again, but I think these cards, they look beautiful. They're highly playable. Some people may even want to collect sets of them, right? You may have your big ballers that want to collect play sets of the Dragon Scale foiling, which is a whole nother conversation. But, yeah, I mean, this is just an absolutely crazy reveal that I saw almost after I finished recording the first video. I'm like, I have to talk about this a little bit, because it's just kind of a wild thing that we're seeing here. The fact that not only are we getting these amazing arts, we're getting a crazy premium version of them that actually looks really good. If you guys haven't seen it, I would check Blue Sky. They posted on Magic Blue Sky the actual video of the it's hard for me to show it here, but it's like a rotation image of it. It's extremely cool. So highly recommend taking a look at that, and I just kind of wanted to touch on it here. While we're talking lands, these are the Dragon's Presence basic lands that'll be in the set. They look pretty cool. I do like the mountain one and the forest one quite a lot. These will be available in both, and you may have seen yesterday the Magic the Gathering Dragon's Eye basic lands. These were making the rounds on Reddit and everything else. Unbelievable lands. Some of the coolest lands I think ever designed. And they're only in collector boosters, and I am not thrilled about this. If you guys watch my videos a lot, you know I try to be positive and take a positive outlook to things. These being locked to collector boosters is a bit much. I have no problem with collector boosters having exclusive foiling and stuff, because it adds some intrigue. It gets whales to buy more of the product, which then drops the price for everybody else. But these lands are really already have people buzzing, and they're in high demand, and now they're going to be exclusive to those boosters, which means you're probably looking at one per booster on average, perhaps. And that means 12 per box. I mean, these are going to be not the most widely accessible versions of these lands. So I don't like that move, and I do think it's a bad move, as much as I like a lot of what this set has to offer. Again, I don't mind stuff in collector boosters, but like, when you introduce something like this and it's as cool as it is, and then you lock it to collector boosters, it just feels kind of like a big FU to a lot of the player base. And on top of that, we do have this Waste, which is going to be a promo. I do not know right now how it'll actually be distributed, but again, another Dragon's Eye. It's an incredibly nice land. They nailed it with artwork here. It's just a shame that not everybody's going to have the chance to kind of appreciate and have that with these lands. So that's kind of where I'm at with this video. It was a little bit less structured, but I needed to kind of talk about this, because it's just like, this is a huge thing, and what type of impact it's going to have on the product price will be really interesting to watch. But I want to know what you guys think as well. Are you excited about these? Are you planning on getting any? I mean, I think we can all agree they look great. I mean, art is obviously subjective, but I mean, in terms of like the finally getting these lands with alternate arts like we did with the others is really cool. And I think it's going to be a massive hit for the product as a whole, but unfortunately the player base may suffer in the meantime. Well, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next video, and stay tuned here for more updates with Dragonstorm.